How do you measure a country's wealth? You could look at its gross domestic product or GDP, which shows how much money there is in the country. More accurate would be looking at the GDP per capita, but a country with a high GDP per capita might have such a high cost of living that its people aren't that rich at all. The richest countries on this list have some really interesting contenders on them, which just goes to show that you don't have to be a big and mighty country. So here are 20 richest countries in the world, according to their GDP nominal and GDP per capita. Number 20. Turkey. Turkey, with its $706.24 billion economy, as the 19th largest economy in the world. The share of Turkey's middle class increased from 18% to 41% of the population between 1993 and 2010, according to the World Bank, and the country joined the upper middle income group in the late 2000s. The economy has been growing at an impressive pace since the 2000s, driven by both industry and services. Its economy witnessed macroeconomic and fiscal stability, while its employment and income levels witnessed an increase. Number 19. Switzerland. Switzerland is one of the most stable market economies in the world. It is the 19th largest economy in the world, with a nominal GDP of $707.57 billion. The country offers a very high standard of living for its people. Switzerland has a booming tourism industry and a strong financial sector. Switzerland also has a long tradition of industry, especially the clock and watches industry and pharmaceuticals. Agriculture only contributes about 1% to its GDP. The country's economy benefits from its stable political system, sound infrastructure, and favorable tax rates. Number 18. Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia is predominantly an oil-based economy. The country possesses around 18% of the world's proven petroleum reserves. It ranks as the largest exporter of petroleum, with the oil and gas sectors accounting for about 50% of its GDP and 70% of its export earnings. Saudi Arabia is rich in other natural resources like natural gas, iron ore, gold, and copper. Oil prices affect the country's economy when the price is changed. Number 17. Netherlands. The Netherlands, the sixth largest economy in the European Union, is the 17th largest economy in the world. The economy is backed by abundant natural resources, booming tourism, and sound industries like food processing, chemicals, electrical machinery, and petroleum refining. The Netherlands can boast of its highly mechanized, highly productive agricultural sector, which makes it among the top agricultural exporters globally. Despite its small landmass, the Netherlands is a major player in the world's trade. Number 16. Indonesia. Indonesia is the largest economy in Southeast Asia and the 16th largest on the global map. The Indonesian economy has shown tremendous progress over the last 2 decades. It was a victim of the Asian financial crisis in 1997. However, it has charted impressive growth ever since. Among sectors, agriculture contributes about 14% to its GDP, while industry and services add approximately 43% each to its output. Number 15. Mexico. Mexico, the second largest economy in Latin America, is the 15th largest economy in the world, with a nominal GDP of $1.24 trillion. The share of agriculture in the Mexican economy has remained under 4% over the last 2 decades, while its industry and services contribute around 33% and 63% to its output. Automotive, oil, and electronics are among the developed industries, while financial services and tourism are prominent contributors within services. Number 14. Australia. Australia is the 14th largest economy, with a nominal GDP of $1.42 trillion. The economy has grown at a healthy pace for the past 2 decades, on the back of low unemployment, low public debt and inflation, robust exports, a strong service sector, and a stable financial system. Australia is also a land rich in natural resources, as well as a major exporter of energy and food. Number 13. Spain. The $1.4 trillion Spanish economy is the 13th largest in the world. Spain replaced the United Kingdom to become the second most visited country in the world, with a huge influx of inbound tourists. In terms of sectors, agriculture has traditionally played a crucial role. However, with time the contribution of this sector has fallen to about 3%. The country remains a major exporter of olive oil, pork, and wine. Number 12. Russia. Russia, the largest country on Earth in terms of landmass, is the 12th largest economy in the world, with a nominal GDP of $1.61 trillion. The 1990s were a rough period for its economy, since it inherited a devastated industrial and agricultural sector, along with the fundamentals of a centrally planned economy. During the next decade, Russia witnessed growth at a healthy pace of 7%. However, this growth was led by the commodity. Number 11. South Korea. The country has made incredible progress in the past couple of decades to establish itself as a high-tech, industrialized nation. Over the past 4 decades, South Korea has demonstrated incredible economic growth and global integration to become an industrialized economy. It is among the top exporters in the world and presents great investment opportunities, reflected in its ease of doing business ranking. Number 10. Canada. Canada's nominal GDP is currently at $1.74 trillion and is expected to touch $2.13 trillion by 2023. The country has contained its level of unemployment, and it's likely to further shrink. While services are the major sector, manufacturing is the cornerstone of the economy, with 68% of its exports constituting of merchandise exports. Canada is laying a lot of emphasis on manufacturing, which is crucial to its future economic growth. Number 9. Brazil. Brazil is the largest and most populous nation in Latin America. With a nominal GDP of $1.96 trillion, Brazil is the 9th largest economy in the world. The nation that had been riding on the commodity wave suffered multiple setbacks with the end of the commodity supercycle, in addition to internal problems of corruption and political uncertainty, which dampened the investment and business environment. Number 8. Italy. With a nominal GDP of $2.03 trillion, Italy is the world's 8th largest economy. Its economy is expected to expand to $2.26 trillion by 2023. Its unemployment rate continues to be in double digits, while its public debt remains sticky at around 132% of GDP. On the positive side, exports and business investment are driving economic recovery. Number 7. France. France, the most visited country in the world, is the 3rd largest economy of Europe and the 6th largest in the world, with a nominal GDP of $2.76 trillion. In recent years, the economic growth has slowed, resulting in unemployment that has placed immense pressure on the government to reboot the economy. In addition to tourism, which remains very important for its economy, France is a leading agricultural producer, accounting for about 1/3 of all agricultural land within the European Union. Number 6. United Kingdom. The United Kingdom, with a $2.83 trillion GDP, is the 6th largest economy in the world. The economy of the UK is primarily driven by the services sector, which contributes more than 75% of its GDP, with manufacturing the second prominent segment, followed by agriculture. Number 5. India. India has become the 5th largest economy in 2019, overtaking the United Kingdom and France. When it comes to calculating GDP per capita, India's high population drags its nominal GDP per capita down to $2,170. Today, its service sector is the fastest growing sector in the world. The economy's strength lies in a limited dependence on exports, high saving rates, favorable demographics, and a rising middle class. Number 4. Germany. Germany is not just Europe's largest economy, but also the strongest. On the global scale, it is the 4th largest economy in terms of nominal GDP, with a $3.9 trillion GDP. The nation has been dependent upon capital good exports, which suffered a setback post-2008 financial crisis. To bolster its manufacturing strength in the current global scenario, Germany has launched Industry 4.0. Its strategic initiative to establish the country as a lead market and provider of advanced manufacturing solutions. Number 3. Japan. Japan is the 3rd largest economy in the world, with its GDP crossing the $5 trillion mark in 2019. The financial crisis of 2008 rocked the Japanese economy, and it's been a challenging time for its economy since then. The global crisis triggered a recession, followed by weak domestic demand and huge public debt. When the economy was beginning to recover, it suffered a massive earthquake that hit the country socially and economically. While the economy has broken the deflationary spiral, economic growth remains muted. Number 2. China. China has experienced exponential growth over the past few decades, breaking the barriers of a centrally planned closed economy to evolve into a manufacturing and exporting hub of the world. China's huge population brings down its GDP per capita to $10,100. China is often referred to as the world's factory, given its huge manufacturing and export base. Number 1. United States. The US has retained its position of being the world's largest economy since 1871. It is often dubbed as an economic superpower, and that's because the economy constitutes almost a quarter of the global economy, backed by advanced infrastructure, technology, and an abundance of natural resources. The US economy is projected to grow to $24.88 trillion by 2023, followed closely by China at $19.41 trillion.